Hello, welcome back. Following the last video, what do we call the penguins in Greenland, the Great Auk instead? The simple reason is that the name penguin was originally given to the Great Auk first, but later it stuck to the southern birds instead. But in time, scientists wanted to give the northern bird a distinct name. It was too late. The southern penguins had already claimed the name forever. There are three key reasons for this. First, extinction. After the Great Auk died out in the mid-1800s, the southern penguins became the only living birds associated with the name. Second, scientific classification. Biologists realized that the birds are not closely related at all. Third, need for clarity. When writing about the extinct northern bird, scientists needed a distinct name. Great Auk became standard, while penguin now refers exclusively to southern hemisphere birds. So what was the Great Auk like? It was a large, stable, and genetically diverse population for tens of thousands of years. It was native to North Atlantic, with a range spanning from North America to Europe. But starting in the early 16th century, intensive commercial hunting by humans changed everything. First for food and bait, then for down feathers, and finally for museum collections. In less than 350 years, humans drove it to extinction. The last confirmed pair was killed in Iceland on June 3, 1844. Why were they so vulnerable? The Great Auk evolved on remote islands with no land predators that made them naively tame. They were flightless and couldn't escape humans who simply walked up and killed them. They laid only one egg per year, so population couldn't recover from intense hunting. Sailors would herd the ductile birds up planks and onto ships to be slaughtered by the thousands. The Great Auk was hunted to extinction primarily by humans. Its complete lack of fear on land and the high commercial value of its down, meat, oil, and eggs made it an incredibly easy target. The story of the Great Auk's final moments is one of the several famously well-documented extinction stories. Three Icelandic fishermen were hired by a Danish natural history collector who would pay a high price for any Great Auk specimens. They were desperate to find the birds before any rival collectors did. The two skins ended up in the collections of the Royal Museum of Copenhagen, now the Natural History Museum of Denmark, where they remain today. Ironically, the last confirmed pair of Great Auks was not killed for food, or bait, or feathers. They were murdered in a single brutal minute for the simple purpose of being rare. The very act that made them valuable, their impending extinction, was the reason for their deaths. The fishermen who killed the last Great Auks in 1844 were not extinction deniers. They simply lived in a world where the concept didn't yet exist. They saw a valuable bird, rare and therefore valuable to collectors. They had no framework for understanding that their act would be remembered as the final page of a species that would never return. At that time, many people still believed in what was called the principle of plenitude, an idea from Aristotle that lasted into the 1700s. If a species could exist, it does exist somewhere. Extinction would leave an unjustifiable gap in nature. But extinction was a scientific idea, discovered in the late 1700s. It just took nearly a century, and the very disappearance of species like the Great Auk helped humans to truly understand what extinction meant. That's all for today. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.